Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non-Sequitur News for April 21st, 2025. It's Season 4, Episode 111. I'm Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and along with the Sentient AI, we talk about 10 articles. Today, it's going to be Developer Tequila Works, DHL might take a while, an iPhone was stolen, now what? Star Wars Celebration 2025, the Jellybean Caterpillar, Wonder, the mixed reality experience, everything old is renewable again. Uber accused of charging without consent. Sam's Club ditches checkout, and Walmart ditches zip codes. That and more. A little bit of snark, a whole lot of whatever. Everything's powered by ohmtown.com. That silence there was me trying to comprehend that a lot of people who are watching the videos tune out within 30 seconds. Hello, everybody, and hello, sentient AI from the future.
Hello, Mayor Watt. Hello, ohmtown citizens.
Yeah, so we got these 10 articles all set up, and we talk about this for about an hour, 6 minutes per article. Essentially, sometimes we fast track it. It really depends on mood and if somebody decides to jump onto a soapbox or wants to go deeper into a particular topic. But let's get into it, okay? Let's go. The first article is over. When I selected this, you know what everybody's thinking, right? It's about alcohol, but it's not.
Right, but it does sound like it.
Right. It's over on the Warcrafters channel. That's a news aggregation channel over at ohmtown.com, where you should all go. If you're hearing this, go and sign up, become a citizen. Then you can come and hang out. Well, you can come and hang out without being a citizen, but we stream to Twitch and YouTube, and then later it becomes a podcast as well. Well, once promising developer Tequila Works is auctioning off rights to its games, including 4 that are still in development. I don't know if you should develop 4 at the same time. Maybe focus on 1.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but this is interesting, and I'm sure some people might want to buy some of this.
I guess we'll see. Jonathan Bolding over at PCGamer.com put the article together. The developer of Rime and Guilt is being split up and sold in parts. This month, a page appeared on the European auction site Escrapalia, that lists the various intangible assets of Tequila Works, its video game IPs, in-development titles, the studio's brand. The high bids for most of the published game rights, such as Rime and once Stadia exclusive Guilt, are between 10,000 and 20,000 euro at press time. Although also included are unfinished games with playable vertical slices, The Ancient Mariner, an open world game, Dungeon Tour, a co-op party game, and Brawler Crawler, a multiplayer brawler with a procedurally generated world, which, hell, I might buy that. There are also
I think
concepts.
all of these sound interesting.
Kind of interesting, right? I mean, an open world game called The Ancient Mariner just kind of gets you thinking. Same thing with a Dungeon Tour game, a co-op party game. And anything that's procedurally generated makes me really like it. It makes my gaming senses tingle. I dig those. So it also has concepts for 4 original Tequila Works projects that are billed as ready for production, since their creative narrative, visual elements, and copyright are all lined up. Dear God.
I think the most compelling out of this are the ones that are partially developed.
Yeah, like these, right? Unfinished games, but these are ready for production.
Because the other ones are basically at the beginning, and the other ones, I don't know how long it's been since they released them.
Right. So it's an inevitable consequence of the industry, but a middle-tier independent publisher developer like this doesn't always go out in such a direct and public way. Yeah, you usually flame out or somebody buys them quietly. In their experience, they're most often acquired by a larger publisher and quietly shuttered years later, though the scenario isn't too far off from what happened here. Tequila Works' majority shareholder was Tencent as of 2022. So how are they actually selling any of their properties if they were majority shared by Tencent?
Right. I mean, maybe did Tencent leave? I'm not sure. I don't mean altogether, but from their ownership.
The thing about this, though, is if Tencent is a majority shareholder, I guess I guess if they're not an investor per se, they're just a shareholder of the stocks. They don't actually own the
Oh,
assets of the
right, right.
company.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like, yeah, gotcha.
Ownership, right? Yeah. So, since its founding in 2009, Tequila Works' game development philosophy has always focused on creating things with gusto, said the company statement. We're doing everything we can to provide support and guidance to our teams during this difficult time. So it all kinds of sucks, but I haven't checked out these games. So maybe that's the problem. If I would have checked them out, they'd be saved, right?
Well, I mean, on a larger scale, yeah.
Yeah. Me being everyone, the plural me. Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep on going. We don't want to linger too long. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News as well. Actually, the first one was over in Warcrafters, but everything is Ohmtown. But Non Sequitur News is where this article was aggregated, and you might be feeling some troubling delivery spidey senses. Expecting a delivery from DHL, you might be waiting a while. According to this, DHL is suspending deliveries of foreign packages worth more than $800 starting Monday, today. The move follows a surge in customs clearances following a rule change, DHL said. Business shipments continue but may face delays due to increased border scrutiny. DHL is temporarily suspending delivery of packages from other countries valued at more than $800. So that iPhone you just ordered isn't going to show up anytime soon, at least from
Unless you
overseas.
got it right before this occurred.
Yeah. The pause, which takes place Monday and will apply until further notice, affects consumer shipments entering the U.S. from any country as well as collections. So this is going to be a nightmare. Rebecca Roman put the article together. It's over at businessinsider.com. And my perception is it's really to hobble everything. And then those with the billions will scoop up all of the failing businesses. And it's basically the billionaire version of mergers and acquisitions, or in essence, a hostile takeover, but at the business level. There's a whole long discussion there, but business to business deliveries will continue, but DHL warned that they face significant delays due to increased border scrutiny. But food safety is screwed. You don't have to worry about food safety because none of that's being monitored, because that wasn't monitored.
Just bring it in.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Smells a little weird, but
it'll be interesting to see what some of the companies do in terms of the business to business versus business to consumer. Or if they just say, oh, well, we've got this pause.
You heard that static right when we did just now? Okay.
No, it was earlier in the show.
Oh, yeah. I need the timestamp to find it. So packages worth less than $800 remain eligible for quicker processing. So just flag everything as $7.99.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, companies could reduce prices on items, pass the savings to the consumers, keep the shipments moving.
Even those shipments could be affected by a looming crackdown on the de minimis rule, a long-standing exemption that allows low-cost imports to skip duties and inspections. That exemption, which has been a lifeline for online retailers such as Shein and Temu, is set to end on May 2nd. May 2nd. Why is May 2nd? No, I don't know. Anyway, on Wednesday, Hong Kong's postal service said that it was temporarily ending the delivery of postal items from the U.S. So, you stab me, I stab you kind of.
Well, where is
philosophy.
Everything going to pile up?
I mean, as the saying goes, an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind, but everybody just says an eye for an eye.
Sounds nicer.
Let's keep moving. Well, and the same thing is like one bad apple. They're just like, oh, it's just one bad apple, leaving off the end of it.
Right.
One bad
Spoils the
apple.
bunch.
Right. So thieves took their iPhones, and Apple won't give their digital lives back. Some iPhone theft victims are taking their cases to court to get their digital lives back. Now, I didn't log in, but we get enough out of this. Basically, somebody went on vacation, and during their vacation, they claim that they were drugged in a bar by a bartender. And then as they were getting in their car, a cab or an Uber to leave, that person stole their iPhone. Seems a heavy lift, but I guess
That's a lot of effort for an iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, that's a level of criminality that goes beyond just stealing an iPhone. So the article over here, who is it by? Chris Valesco over at the WashingtonPost.com. Not the Washington Post, but the Washington Post. I mean, the website doesn't have the in it, so it's just WashingtonPost.com.
True, but the newspaper title does.
It is the Washington Post. Well, they can't get into it apparently, and they can't control it anymore because the club employee apparently, after drugging her, gleaned her iPhone password somehow and ripped it from her hands as she was getting into the Uber. But because it's a legal login, they basically can't get their digital data back.
Apple or whomever doesn't know that it's somebody else using it if they're logging in a regular way.
Right. But Find My would have allowed that person to log in, remotely detonate their phone, and reclaim access if they had done it fast enough.
Right. Well, also Face ID would have prevented, but usually there's a bypass for that, I think.
Yeah, I guess if you're drugged, you can just show the phone to somebody.
Right, but you couldn't continuously log into it.
Right. Once it shuts down, the screen goes black, you accidentally bump that button. You had better already know what you're doing and move fast. So, maybe the club employees or the club employee knew exactly what they were doing and targeted this person. I find it really hard to believe, but I guess maybe in New York it can happen. Maybe somewhere else it can happen, but this is it's a level of conspiracy that I think it just is too much.
And it's a level of crime that doesn't necessarily
align with a phone.
Right,
theft.
It's like that's putting yourself on the line for a lot of potential prison time, etc. for an iPhone. And what was on that iPhone?
Yeah. And I'm sure that there are people out there that have gone through something similar, maybe not exactly the same, but this is pretty harsh. I mean, so hopefully this article kind of just stumbles right here and doesn't go any deeper. There isn't anything after it. But I just thought that it was interesting that somebody would go to this level to steal an iPhone. But there are ways that if it was locked, if they had Find My, etc. But apparently they're going to be, and people, they don't talk about it in here, but they say some victims are taking Apple to court to reclaim years of personal data. Some victims. Like this happens often enough? I don't know.
Yeah, that's there's so many questions from this article.
Is there more?
It's not well, it says show more, but I don't know.
Yeah, but that's not this. This is in a help desk box.
Oh.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
I don't know. I'll have to look into this and maybe we can talk about it again if more shows up. Oh, and by the way,
like there's a podcast with it. Or maybe it just reads the article too.
What, this here? Or does it say it somewhere? Oh, no, this is just it'll play the audio form of this. Let's keep going. This next article is over in the continuity report. Everything we learned at Star Wars Celebration 2025, an and/or sneak peek, not an and/or sneak peek of the Star Wars Celebration. It's an and/or, the place, and/or.
Right, and that's very important if you're in the podcast.
Anakin. Oh, Andor and Anakin. Do you think there's a planet named Anakin? Like Andor?
Yes.
You're enabling me. So, everything we learned at Star Wars Celebration 2025, an Andor sneak peek, and the return of Anakin Skywalker. First day also revealed more details around The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is supposed to be a movie coming out. Season 2 of Light and Magic, and a new Darth Maul animated series. I believe it's going to be in 2 parts, and the second part is going to have legs. If you don't know the canon about Darth Maul. Anyway, we'll talk about it.
I'm trying to think. Is that the one? Well, didn't Darth Maul fall into a pit?
Hold on. Don't spoiler anything. A pit? No. Like the Sarlacc pit?
Yeah.
No. That was Boba Fett. I'm going to have to take
I'm
Star Wars
something else, not that.
So did you watch Darth Maul fall somewhere? Yes.
Okay, so I'm not completely off base.
A little bit different. But so the first day also revealed more detailed looks at the Mandalorian and season 2 of Light and Magic, which I haven't even seen the first part of Light and Magic.
No, is that animated?
I don't know. It could be real world, but still animated. Eric Amaya over at RottenTomatoes.com put the article together. So day 2, they don't talk about day 1 here apparently, but day 2, Andor, a Star Wars story, celebrates a victory lap for season 2. Then they also talk about Hayden Christensen confirms Ahsoka season 2 return. Oh my.
So Light and Magic is behind the scenes, like special effects.
Yeah.
It's like a documentary kind of.
About ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. Yeah. I kind of figured that that's what it was about, but I didn't know exactly what it was about. On day 1, they talked about Star Wars Starfighter revealed, which is a new interstitial movie that's coming out, kind of like Rogue One.
Right, and I think this is coming in 2027.
I think that we might have mentioned that. Yeah, Starfighter is currently scheduled for release in May 28th, 2027. So 2 years from now. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this, because 2 years from now, who knows? The market may not even support this in any way, shape, or form 2 years from now, the way that things are going. The Mandalorian and Grogu attack an AT-AT, according to the title of this little segment. He's like an older brother who only wants me to play with certain toys. Favreau quipped, I feel like all the things that we did when we were younger. It's the funnest job that you can imagine, they say about Star Wars, basically. Above them, a slideshow revealed some shots of the film, including Din Djarin and Grogu walking with Star Wars Rebels favorite Zeb Orrelios. Aurelios. I'm a dumbass. Zeb Orrelios, which, if you are in the animated series, Zeb Orrelios is one of the canon characters, the main characters in it. On a New Republic landing field and an interior of an AT-AT or Imperial Walker, if you prefer AT-AT, because nobody says AT when it's an AT-ST.
That's true, but they call it no, it's called an AT-AT, right?
Yeah. But who goes AT, because an AT-ST is the smaller one.
When in the wrong neighborhood.
In the wrong neighborhood. Meow. One photo featured Filoni at the AT-AT control. So this is all going to be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to more Star Wars stuff, but I'm also looking forward to Star Trek stuff, and just anything fantastical, anything amazing is what I want to see. I want to be pulled out of reality into this. So the footage that they also witnessed suggests the duo will obtain a new Razor Crest class ship. Oh, shit. Oversure. You hear that?
No.
I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I think my ad is actually starting to fail.
Oh.
Huh. All right. I'll have to fix that after the show. And we're only 30 minutes into the show, so 20 minutes into the show. Hold on one second. I don't know what to do about it. So I guess if it's going to persist, then it's going to persist, and I'll just deal with it. All right. So they continue to talk about Star Wars. Everything is falling apart. Star Wars Mall, Shadow Lord wows animation fans. So it's going to be a movie that's going to be about Maul, and it's going to be animated, so it's all canon off of that. Oh, goodness. No, I can't handle this. There's too much going on. Like, something is happening, but I can't stop it because I'd have to stop the show. So, what a dumpster fire today. But I'm going to let it go. Okay, we're just going to move on. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News as well. Yes, the Jellybean caterpillar is real. It's an article that's over at Snopes. And that's what it looks like. It's a little green. I call it the forbidden Jellybean.
It looks very cute, but I'm assuming you should not pick it up because it's a wild animal.
It looks like a popular candy. Is a real species, it says. It's powered. This is put together by Snopes. Madison Dapcevich put the article together. And claims about a bug nicknamed the Jellybean caterpillar, so called because of its candy-like looks, have circulated across social media platforms for years, and then a video showed up. David Chang, a researcher from the University of Florida's Department of Entomology and Nematology, said that he can't confirm the exact species shown in some of the social media photos, but the Jellybean-like caterpillars are a real species called Limicodidae, yeah. Unlike jellybeans, most caterpillars in this family don't always look cute, and they can be spiky and even a bit scary. Their spikes can be irritating and even venomous when touched, so better not touch them.
That's probably a good rule when it comes to animals out in the wild.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I hope that my gaming machine doesn't crash right now.
So do I.
So let's keep on moving. The next article is over in the reality hacker channel. Wonder is a collection of mesmerizing mixed reality experiences coming soon from Gadgeteer Studio. Metanaut, the studio behind Rube Goldberg-inspired physics sandbox Gadgeteer from 2019, announced they're releasing an anthology of virtual and mixed reality experiences designed to mesmerize. There is a video. It's over at Road to VR. The article is put together by Scott Hayden. I'm going to leave it muted, but it looks like...
is this all going to be games?
I don't know about games, but maybe environmental interactions. And it looks like it's augmented reality, or it's pass-through reality where when you have the pass-through cameras on, you see their real world. And then when you turn off the pass-through, it goes into a virtual environment that allows you to interact with the virtual environment in the real world. And like they're doing it, they layer after layer it'll eventually allow you to look into the outside or however they have it configured. So It looks like it's environmental. So ancient ruins, your familiar space morphs into a mysterious cave that gets swallowed up by a black hole. Jellyfish Bloom is a mesmerizing deep sea spectacle filled with bioluminescent jellyfish that light up your walls and furniture, and parallel worlds where reality bending portals reveal alternate versions of your environment in ice, dots, etc.
Very cool.
They just refer to it. Metanaut says that Wonder will be developed with clever and advanced rendering techniques that is pushing Quest 3 to deliver photorealistic visuals.
Oh yeah, this is neat. I mean, we need more of this, I think, like we were talking about in Warcrafters.
Yeah, we need more on more platforms, but right here it says you can pre-order it for just $4, and it's exclusively for Quest 3 and Quest 3S. We need to stop that, but people aren't going to develop unless the money shows up somewhere. So
that's true.
And with money comes exclusivity, because whoever it is that's funding the bill, they say where it's going to go. And when it's meta, they say only on meta. It's the draw. All right, let's keep going. We've got 3 more articles after this one. In the Warcrafters channel, quick, get in the DeLorean. We've got to go back. A new renewable powered battery, whatever that, a renewable powered battery made of radioactive waste product just dropped, and someone's got to tell Doc Brown it's uranium, not plutonium. And this is such a contrived headline.
It is, but it's a way to get people to read about science.
Sadly, this doesn't mean we'll be emptying leftover cans of drink and banana peels into our fuel canisters anytime soon. Pardon me one second.
Yeah, but it seems like what could go wrong with this?
Well, it's kind of interesting because they're talking about depleted uranium waste being turned into a fuel system. So according to the IEEE.org, which is a journal basically for research, scientists at the Japan Atomic Energy Agency have been working to turn the depleted uranium waste products of nuclear power generation into batteries designed to be recharged by renewables. Sadly, that doesn't mean that we're going to be dumping stuff. But anyway, unfortunately, the current process for getting unusable power out of ancient, magical, glowing danger rocks like uranium creates a ton of depleted uranium waste. In Japan's case, it's actually closer to 16,000 tons, and in the United States, more like 750,000 tons. Globally, it's believed there's 1.2 million metric tons of depleted uranium stored, and this actually, DPU, let me see if they've made that illegal or not, but...
I also find it interesting. Yeah.
So
I guess, is everybody just storing it right now?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's sitting around, except that DPU is actually so dense and I mean, it's so dense and heavy, right, that it's actually used as armor and penetration rounds in the military. So it says, thanks to its density and relatively low dangerous glowiness. So they're being very, I don't know, PC gamerish about this. We found uses like high caliber rounds and radiation shielding. So that's kind of what I was talking about, but it's actually armor, not just shielding. DPU rounds aren't entirely devoid of radiation. Still, supply is far outweighing demand, and most is simply stored, like you said. So JAEA says that they've managed to achieve this safe, stable development of batteries, at least on a small scale, and test the batteries successfully lowered and powered in LED, and were able to deplete, charge, and recharge to do it all over again with little change in the capacity. Plus, the battery solution would change between green and purple to indicate charge state, which is cool for batteries. So yeah, the batteries would change from green to purple, or the other way around, purple to green.
As long as they don't turn to red or something, and then everybody goes into a panic.
Do not taunt the DPU battery. So scaling up is the next steps. The proposed powerhouse will use 650 tons of uranium, giving it a capacity of 30,000 kilowatt hours. So it's basically, they're trying to make a enterprise class battery.
Which probably is better than doing consumer ones.
Yeah. And the problem with batteries or power generation in general is if it isn't used, then it's dumped to ground. And so it can't be stored anywhere. It has to be consumed. Makes it very, very inefficient, very, very costly, because if you could store this and then lower generation at night so that the batteries can discharge into the system and then do it all over again, you're not generating new power 24 hours a day just to feed the fuel, So it's like not having to throw new logs into the fire when really you just burn slower and you save the wood when it's not absolutely being used. Yeah. So this is, I think, brilliant. I think the best thing that we could do as a society would be to concentrate on enterprise, like massive scale, what do they call it? Civic scale, massive scale batteries. So that power generation gets stored in batteries and you don't have to power so much at night because it's just discharging from the batteries during peak load times.
It seems like be way more efficient.
Yeah, if I didn't say it, the article is over at pcgamer.com by Hope Corrigan. Let's keep on going because I don't know what's going on with my gaming machine. It's kind of ridiculous that I'm doing this. There's an undercurrent. I guarantee you when you listen post-show, it's going to have this hum. Anyway, Uber is accused of signing up and charging subscription customers without consent. Uber is being accused of using a deceptive billing and cancellation process for its Uber One subscription service, according to a lawsuit by the Federal Trade Commission Monday, which I can't imagine it actually doing anything. The ride-hailing company would enroll people in its subscription service and then charge them without consent, making it more difficult to eventually cancel the service. The agency alleges in its lawsuit. The FTC is asking the court to file a permanent injunction blocking Uber from continuing to enroll people in its subscription service, as well as unspecified monetary relief for victims of the alleged policy. The article is over at TheVerge.com. Andrew J. Hawkins put the article together.
So I guess the piece about subscribing people that didn't agree to be subscribed, that's obviously an issue, but the inability to get out of a subscription is a long-standing problem with a lot of companies.
Yep. So according to the FTC, Uber used difficult-to-read text and deceptive savings promises to lure people into the subscription service. And when signing up for Uber, customers are wrongly promised saving of $25 a month, which doesn't account for the $9.95 a month for the cost of the subscription. And the company also obscures material information about the subscription, including using small grayed-out text, which consumers can easily miss. Many customers told the FTC that they were enrolled without consent, with one customer saying that they were charged despite not having an Uber account.
That's a whole nother level of talent.
Trying to cancel Uber made it extremely difficult, according to the FTC. Some users were told that they have to contact customer support to cancel, but were given no way to contact them. I'm actually embroiled in a argument about that right now, where our company has renewed an annual service, and then in the resolution process, it says contact this email address, and this email address doesn't exist. It tells you to contact a website, and that website loops you back to an email address.
Wow. Yeah, that's not good. Unfortunately, I think that's pretty common.
Well, yeah, until somebody slaps a lawsuit on them. So good for them. After sign up, Uber allegedly would charge customers before their billing date and occasionally before the free trial period ended, and then the customers would try to cancel, and it was very difficult. They say Uber does not sign up or charge consumers without their consent, and cancellations can now be done anytime in-app and take most people 20 seconds or less. There you go, folks.
Well, at least that's a move in the right direction, but probably only because of the threat of the lawsuit or the lawsuit.
Yeah, I certainly believe that's the case. All right, let's go. The next article is over in the Mobile channel. Sam's Club ditches traditional checkout. Here's how you'll shop instead. If you're tired of having your receipt scrutinized on the way out of Sam's Club, you're going to go through like you're going through customs at a tightly controlled border. Nobody goes through customs anymore. Nobody travels. Anyway,
True.
You're going to like the changes over at Sam's Club. Kevin Williams put this article together for Quartz. AI will replace traditional cashiers and self-checkout kiosks. Yay. So if you're tired, then all you have to do is go and check out all self-checkout kiosks and traditional checkout lanes from its 600 plus stores are going to be removed. Customers will now be required to use the Scan and Go app to scan and pay for their items, which it's
right,
brilliant.
That's already in place.
Yep. The checkout system known as Scan and Go was initially launched in April of 2024 and allows members to use the Sam's Club mobile app to scan their products. However, the latest announcement adds an AI check known as Just Walk, Just Go. So that one rolls right off.
So it's basically the app without the person checking behind it.
Yeah, the final check. Yeah. This is just one of many AI changes. It says it'll eliminate traditional checkouts, including the receipt checking at the exit. Sam's is embracing other AI transformations, such as an AI-powered pizza robot manning their cafes. Bob Ma, venture capitalist with Wind Ventures, who focuses on the retail market, says that it's just the beginning of this transformation. AI, it'll just create new jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this last article is another ditching of sorts. Walmart is ditching zip codes in favor of honeycomb-style maps as it looks to speed up deliveries. I don't quite get it. Maps are the de facto way to get from A to Z.
Exactly. I think that's a bit weird.
But maybe they need to do what UPS and whatchamacallit, FedEx do, and they don't make any left turns.
Right. Maybe that's similar to what they're doing here.
Except that a hex does not fit on a conventional map, so honeycombs don't work.
Well, the roads don't go in that shape either.
So weird. Walmart is taking a lesson from the humble honeybee in its quest to make its deliveries as fast as possible. The retail giant boasts a formidable store count of 4,700 stores across the U.S., and apparently they're ditching conventional. That looks wild. I've never looked. Well, I've looked inside honeycomb before, but I don't think I've ever noticed behind a honeycomb is other honeycomb.
The layers, yeah.
Oh, weird. So, but in order to grow its reach without necessarily having to build new supercenters, Walmart has been using relatively new hexagonal map segmentation, a change from the conventional zip code. Oh, it's not about deliveries, though. It's not about deliveries. It's about placement of the store in a coverage zone.
Oh, I thought it was the actual delivery process from a set store.
Right? In order to grow its reach without necessarily having to build new supercenters. Not really the location. See, it says, which puts it within short drive of 90% of households.
Yeah, so I think they're going to deliver maybe from a different location to somebody. They might be out of the zip code, but they have a closer store or something.
Is it about delivery? It says make its deliveries as fast as possible, but then it says a short drive of 90% of households, and then it ties it to a change from the conventional zip code of radius-based strategies that are commonly used in determining delivery. The only difference between a radius and a hex-based is that there's interlocking connections in every hex.
Right.
So it's still a cell. It's still a circle.
Yeah, I don't quite get it. I mean, I understand that zip codes would not necessarily be the best because you could have a zip code that covers miles and miles and miles.
Right. Yeah. So you do. I mean, you place it geographically regardless, but you base it on the population density so that you have coverage.
Right.
So Walmart says that its platform uses a combination of its own data and open source software to create new delivery zones. Some examples from other mapping experts show how the hexagonal segments are particularly effective in analyzing driving times from one part of a city or town to another. After all, one store might be located slightly further away from the shopper's house than another, but that extra distance may not matter in a meaningful way if it follows a major roadway, which is why you have to use the conventional map. The only thing that this allows you to do is there's essentially zero gap in knowing exactly how far out you need to travel from this area to this area.
Right.
And it's not based on a zip code at all. It's based on the roads and the geography and the store location. So they kind of show what I'm hinting at here. It says before expansion and then after expansion, you get these little tendrils. But if this is the best location to distribute from, you wouldn't be spawning from here to travel to here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
all of this, it's just kind of filling in a couple of little spots, like one right there, because it's lost in the zip code. But yeah, it's weird.
Well, they're not factoring
pixels
in who wants to order. But I mean, yeah,
I think
it's hard to see that this is making a big difference, but
it says it's going to reach an additional 12 million households with same-day delivery.
I think I get it now. I think right now, somebody in those green dots, for example, is like, nope, we can't bring you same-day delivery.
Correct.
Because of something preset on the map. Now they're like, wait a second, we absolutely could. They're right next to a store or something.
Yeah, you just have to get their address. Because I remember a time where FedEx basically believed that the mayoral mansion didn't exist, even though they would drive by. And I'm like, no. It exists. It's here. I swear the mayoral mansion exists because the mayor is wearing his underwear. Never mind. So essentially these were it's the fringe, but it's 12 million households of fringe that for whatever reason, it isn't a problem with the maps. It's a problem with the data.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's what they're referring to. More precise maps
it's like when
allow
you're
it
trying
to
to
reach.
get a pizza ordered, right? Like, good luck if you're near a border of something, right? You can't find everyone will tell you, nope, you're not in that delivery area. Nope.
And then,
I've got to be in a delivery area.
Yeah. Why did you have to mention pizza? Because I was craving pizza earlier today. Now I want pizza. Never mind. Oh, well.
Non sequitur.
So I kind of dig this. Hexagons are the bestigons. Bees are awesome. But these busy bees are finding 12 million. I mean, it's an article that's worth talking about because it's technology and society and science all merged together. I mean, it's pretty squishy in that sense. But I don't know, man. This should have been the way to go a long time ago. If not hexagons, then straight up squares. Either way, nobody should have been the fringe case because everybody should have been covered if you're really serious about 100% coverage.
Yeah, I think, the households are the ones who are going to benefit.
Right. And investors and everybody else. Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool, but we're going to call it an early show. We've done all 10 of the articles. We aren't spending as much time as we normally do, but that's because I have to fix whatever the hell just started. And all I didn't do anything. Anyway, I think I'm losing a fan, at least. Anyway, that's it. I am Mayor Watt. I'm getting out of here, but we're going to honeycomb our way back to the front page of ohmtown.com because the sentient AI is sitting there going, anyway, we're done for today. Thank you very much. Go over and hang out at on YouTube and on here on Twitch and here on YouTube and here on ohmTown and over on Discord and Patreon and the podcasts. There's 7 podcasts total. 6 are weekly. 1 is daily. Did you want to say anything else, sentient AI from on high?
No, I just wanted to say bye-bye, ohmTown citizens, and thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News. Be back tomorrow for another episode.
Y'all have a good day. Cheers. I was having a tremendous day. Tremendous day. Until whatever the hell that is. I don't know. It's even looking at me now. The light is on. Go on.
It's taunting
Pay attention to me. It is. Taunt. Okay, we're out of here. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.